because it's hot. I mean, it's really hot.
Hello and welcome to MidnightSilverCrafters.com. My name's Steve and I'll be your host. Today in this video, we're going to learn how to make rubber jewelry molds so we can make wax patterns for jewelry casting. Okay, I'd like to just show you a couple different types of molds here. This first mold is just silicone that you get from Michael's, and it's just RTV silicone, and this silicone you just pour it. It's real easy, and then you just put some Vaseline on there to separate it, and it's basically it's a separated mold. Okay, that's the first type of mold that I want to show you. And this next mold, this is just cornstarch and silicone. It's the cheapest and it's real easy. Okay, it's just plain old silicone that you buy at Walmart. Real cheap and real easy. This mold, this type of mold right here is also it's a separated mold. You put Vaseline on between the layers and you separate. These molds are real easy to make. This next type of mold, this is just your industry standard. This is your Castaldo rubber. This is a conventional jewelry mold, and these are the molds we're going to learn how to make today. I will make videos covering the other types of molds in different videos, but today we're going to talk about making these are conventional rubber jewelry molds. This particular mold right here I'm showing you is a ring mold, but these are actually cut molds, and this is the type of mold that we're going to learn to make today. And just look for my other videos because I will be making other videos on the other types of molds and how to make them, the plain RTV silicone molds. So, all right, let's just get right into this.
All right, well, we had to move into the house. Our neighbor's getting a roof put on today, and they are making some kind of racket out there. So I had to move in here to our inside of the house. But what we're going to need to make this mold. First thing you're going to need to get you some rubber. This is Castaldo rubber. Okay, this is gold label. Okay, now you can buy this rubber on eBay. I get most of my stuff from this company called Jets. It's a jewelry supply company, but this rubber, they have the pre-cut, and then they have sheets that you can cut your own. Today we're going to be working with the pre-cut rubber, but now this rubber has to be vulcanized, and most people think you need a vulcanizer to make these molds. Well, actually you don't need a vulcanizer, and it's real cheap to make them, and it doesn't cost that much. The rubber's not that expensive, and I'm going to show you how you make these molds. This is what the mold. These are cut molds. Okay, this one's for a ring, but today we're just going to make this. We're going to just make this piece today. Okay, but now what we got to do is you get a mold frame. You get these on eBay. They're real cheap. I think they're like $5 or less. All right. Now you're going to need a mold frame, and you're going to need some steel. Okay, and you're going to need 2 pieces of steel plate. This is pretty thick. This is about a 1/4 inch thick steel plate. But you got to put a plate on the bottom. Then you're going to put your rubber in there, and then you're going to put a plate on the top. Now these plates have to cover the whole top of this frame, okay? And then we're going to take some C-clamps, and we're going to clamp down these plates down to this mold frame, and then we're going to put it in the oven. All right, now I've already got my oven preheating. I got my oven set on 330 degrees. Okay, now that's real important. You want 330 degrees, and we're going to leave the mold in there. We're going to leave it in there for 45 minutes. All right. Okay. So now, what you do? You put your first plate down, okay, and then you lay your mold frame down on that plate, all right, just like that. All right, now, on your first piece, you're going to put 6 pieces of rubber. It's going to take 6 pieces of rubber to make this mold, all right. Now, your first piece, there's 2 backings. There's a front and there's a back. And these both peel off, okay? Now, on your first piece down, where the gold side, you're going to leave this backing on. You're not going to peel that off, but we're going to peel off the front. All right, the front backing, we're going to peel that off. All right, and we're going to take our gold side and we're going to put it facing down. All right, and the reason we don't peel this off the back is so that it's not going to stick to our plate when we go to take it out of there. All right, now you can put a little bit of cornstarch baby powder on your plate if you want, but I'm not going to do it right now because it's not really necessary. But if you want, you can. That keeps it from sticking. So we put our first piece in, we just drop our first piece in. All right, now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to peel off, we're going to take our second piece and we're going to peel off both the front and the back. All right, so we're going to peel both of these backings, we're going to peel them off. Okay, the front and the back. We're on our second piece down. Now, this rubber, there's little marks, little lines on one side, and the other side is kind of just plain. It doesn't really matter which way you put this down. It's going to bond together either way. It's going to vulcanize and it's going to bond together. Okay, but we're going to put our second piece in. Now, when you do this, you want to have real clean hands. All right? You want to have real clean hands when you do this because you don't want to contaminate your rubber. All right, now, we're going to take our third piece, but what we're going to do on our third piece is we're going to cut a little, like a little V in the middle of the rubber. We're going to cut out a little V shape. All right. I'm using a razor blade here. You can do this with scissors or razor blade, but we're cut out this V shape. Just this little piece of rubber. Now you want to save these little pieces of rubber, okay? And I'll show you why in a minute. But you just save these pieces, okay? Now we haven't peeled off our backing yet. Now this is our third piece in. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to peel off both the front and the back. And then we're going to stick our third piece of rubber down in here. All right. So we're going to peel off both the front and the back. This is the third piece down. Okay, we're going to lay it right in there. All right, these molds are real easy to make, and they're real cheap, and they're real easy. Now, there's other types of molds that I'm going to cover. The cornstarch molds, that you can make them molds out of cornstarch, and you can also make your molds out of the this RTV silicone. But today we're just doing this for this particular job. We're doing this type because this is the type of rubber that you want to use if you want to get really good molds and you really want to get all the detail. I mean, super fine detail, and these are the best molds to make. Now this is a cut mold, and we're going to have to cut this pattern out of here when this mold's done. Okay, we're gonna cut this mold, and I'm going to show you that after we take it out of the oven. But all right, we got 3 pieces down. Now we're going to take our model. We're going to lay our model in here, and we're going to put our cone, our sprue cone, facing right on the side here, and we're going to butt it right up against the side of the frame. Okay, and you want that facing the side, and this little V cut out. Okay, your sprue cone goes right into there, and you're going to stick your model in there, and you're going to just lightly press that down on the rubber. All right, now we're going to our 4th piece of rubber, and we're going to do the same thing on our 4th piece. We're going to cut a little V shape. Okay, same exact thing. We're going to cut out a little V. All right, just like that. All right, now, so we got our 4th piece. We're going in with our 4th piece. We got our V cut in there. We're going to peel off the front, and we won't peel off the back. All right, and we're just gonna lay this piece right down in there. All right, now. The reason I said to save these little pieces, these little cut pieces. Now this particular part, this is a real thin bezel, and it's not very deep. It's a real shallow bezel. Now if I was making a ring or another part that has a deeper, cavity on the inside, what you do, you take these little pieces, you peel off the backings, of course, and you just take these and you just kind of bunch these rubber pieces together, and you kind of pack them down in there, okay? And what that does is that packs that inner cavity with rubber, and you don't have to do that, but it's better if you do. It just gives it extra rubber. And because it's all going to vulcanize when it heats up, the heat and the pressure is going to make that rubber expand. Okay, but I'm not packing the inside of this bezel with any extra rubber, little bits of rubber, because this bezel is real shallow. Okay, but here's my 4th piece of rubber. And I put my little V cutout right on top of my sprue cone. All right, now, and I'm just gonna push this down. Okay. And I'm gonna push it down good and firm. Now, when you're making these type of molds, these vulcanized rubber molds like this with the Castaldo rubber, you gotta use a metal pattern, okay? Because this is gonna have a lot of heat and a lot of pressure, and if you use a soft material like wood or some type of plastic. Now I make a lot of my patterns out of Fimo clay. Okay, now this particular mold I made over here was a Fimo clay. This is a nice big bezel. I made that out of Fimo clay, but see, that's why I did not use this Castaldo rubber on this Fimo clay pattern, because it wouldn't work. Okay, because the pressure and the heat is just going to destroy that model. Okay, and it's just going to squash it down and destroy it, and it would be a big mess. So when you're making these type, always use a metal pattern. It's very important. It's got to be metal, some sort of metal, okay? No soft material. All right, now we're going up. We got 2 more pieces. All right, so we got our 4th piece on. I'm pushing that down good. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to peel these 2 pieces up. These 2 backings off of this 4th piece. No, this is our 5th piece. Sorry about that. That's the 5th piece right here. Peel this down, peel this off. All right, now we're just going to take this piece and we're going to put it right on top. All right, just like that. Okay, now we're going to push that down good and firm. Now we're going to put our last piece. Okay, now we got 6 pieces of rubber. All right. So we're going to take this and we're going to leave on the gold backing. That's going to be facing up, and we're going to peel off the other side of the backing. Now the reason we're leaving that backing on is the same reason we left it on the first piece, is because this gold side, this backing, is going to go against our metal plate. Alright, and we don't want our mold to stick. So we got it right there. Alright, now I'm going to put that right on top there. Okay, now all I'm going to do is I'm going to lay my other plate right on top of here. Okay. Now you need some C-clamps, and you want to get some C-clamps that are pretty heavy. You don't want to use no little light little C-clamps, okay? Because we're going to clamp this thing down real tight, okay? We're going to clamp it all the way tight, okay? So I'm going to put 2 clamps on it. Alright, now I'm going to get my first clamp started. And I'm going to hold it, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get my second clamp. Alright, now you just clamp these down. Now this other clamp I got, this is a big C-clamp, but you know, I'm using what I got. Okay, so but I'd rather have heavier. You know, I got all different size clamps, but I'd rather, you know, you want heavy clamps. You don't want little tiny thin clamps, but you take your time and you snug these down. All right, now we're going to snug these down, and we're going to clamp that until these plates go all the way down against your mold frame. All right, now that's what we're going to do. So we're going to keep cranking them down, and what this is doing is this is putting a lot of pressure on this rubber. All right, so that's how we do it. Now what you do is you just tighten these down as tight as you can get them. Okay, and you want this thing absolutely tight, okay, all the way down tight onto that mold frame, and you just keep going around it, and you get it just as tight as you can get it. All right. That's squishing that down real good. All right, now that's pretty much it. Now I think I'm gonna maybe add one more clamp to this side right here. So I'm gonna add one more clamp. But now as soon as I get this plate down tight against this frame, okay, then I got my oven, it's already preheated, it's already on, it's 330 degrees. I'm going to take this mold and I'm going to lay it in my oven. I got plenty of room for these clamps and everything because I got the whole oven. I'm just going to lay it inside of my oven on the rack. Alright, and it's not gonna smoke or anything like that. It's not gonna mess your oven up or anything like that. You know, you won't even know it's in there. You leave it in there for 45 minutes.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this video right here. If you're new and if this is your first time visiting the channel, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel. If you're interested in jewelry making and lost wax casting and silversmithing, I'd love to have you as a member of the channel. And also, if you're into jewelry making and all this stuff, if you would visit my website, I think you'll find a lot of good, helpful information there. And I got a lot of products related to all this stuff that we're doing and talking about. So if you want to find out about how to cut these molds, look for my video on how to cut the molds. I'll be posting that real soon. But if you go ahead and subscribe to the channel and look at all my other videos I've got just a ton of videos covering just about anything and everything related to casting and jewelry making and all this stuff. So, all right, it's been fun. My name's Steve, and I'll talk to you in the next video.